Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer, please stand. 高天原にかぐすまります。かむろぎかむろみのみこともちて、すべみよやかむいざなぎのみことをすくしのりむかの立ち花の、おどのあわぎはらに、急ぎ払いたもう時になりませる。払いどのお神たちもろもろのまがごと積み汚れを払いたまえ清めたまえとまおすことのよしを天つかみくにつかみやおよろずの神たちともに雨のふちごまの実に振り立ててきこしめせとかしこみかしこみもまおす弥勒大神守りたまえ先あえたまえ弥勒大神守りたまえ先あえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先あえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先あえたまえこんながら魂はえませ。こんながら魂はえませ。Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us, radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei. Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Johrei. Johrei cleanses and purifies the spirit. It truly is a baptism by fire because the material world is so clouded. Only through Johrei miracles will we realize God's power. Purification can best be achieved by channeling God's great light. Johrei, the lifeline to true salvation. It is God who performs miracles, not us. When an overwhelming blessing or a wondrous response to a prayer is experienced, the event is generally considered a miracle. Through this kind of action, a person is moved to feel deep reverent gratitude and a faith so strong he or she is protected from misfortune. By having such an experience, one learns the priceless value of true faith. A single personal experience is worth 100 theories. Worldwide peace and the establishment of a sound virtuous society can be achieved only when all people come to believe in the existence of God through experiencing God's miracle working power, and a spiritual culture becomes a reality. In this period of the great transition, God is releasing the divine light for us, and such an intense, magnificent light it is, performing one miracle after another. Never before in history have mortals been so blessed.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters. The faith experiences today that I would like to share, there are two of them. One is from Emmanuel Hisidivali. He's from Angola. Emmanuel has been a member of our church since November 2008. He came to know our church through a Johrei member. The reasons that led him to visit our church were illnesses and financial difficulties. He suffered from a lot of pain in his body. Sometimes he felt strong burning sensations. Other times he felt cold. his skin peeled off, so he couldn't get out of bed, in which he was paralyzed for 18 years. He had medical treatment in Angola and Namibia. He also went to many folk healers, they are called quimbandeiros, looking for a solution and spending a lot of money in the process. He felt discouraged and desperate, and stayed home waiting for the worst. His wife, impatient, left him in the care of his mother, who cried every day with so much sadness. She could not bear it either, and eventually she also left him in the care of two nephews and his youngest daughter. It was at this time that, fortunately, a Johrei member named Oscar went to his house and told Emmanuel about our faith. After listening carefully to what Emmanuel had to say, Oscar channeled Johrei to him, placed flowers of light in his house, and also prepared a home garden, following up with our basic practices of faith. The next day, this member, joined by a few others, did a thorough cleaning at Emmanuel's home, including the laundry that was dirty. From then on, he began receiving daily religious assistance. A few days later, a strong tornado appeared and invaded his house, tearing off two zinc shingles from the roof that almost cut his niece's neck. In addition, it broke two chairs, destroyed some houses in the neighborhood, returning to his house and raising the entire roof of it. Even without understanding, he thanked from the bottom of his heart for the protection his family received. Then for a week, he had physical purifications, such as diarrhea, high fevers, cough, and flu. After these purifications, the doors opened and his life began to change. He was allowed to receive a visit from the municipal commander and the communal administrator, who negotiated part of his land for municipal parking. And in exchange, he began receiving food supplies every 2 weeks. His family, who hadn't been looking for him for a long time, started visiting him. His brothers and niece offered him an additional amount of 20 zinc sheets for his roof. So he started to rebuild his house. Local priests and nuns, who had also stopped visiting him for a long time, appeared and noticing great changes in him, trying to find out what happened. Hearing his story, they suggest that he continues accepting the guidances of feelings of gratitude, because that was his salvation. One of his brothers had the blessing of buying a car, taking Emmanuel to church every day to receive Johrei. That way he improved visibly, and after 4 years he began to walk, something that left a lot of people amazed. In gratitude, he made a special donation and offered 600 meters of land where the Kaimo Johrei group was inaugurated. And in 2011, he became a member. Emmanuel learned from these experiences that Meishu-sama is really the Messiah awaited by humanity, and that Johrei is also the medicine of the 21st century. He's very thankful to God, Meishu-sama, and his ancestors for allowing him to know this path of salvation. That was a nice experience from Emmanuel from Angola, Africa. And the next experience I would like to share with you, her name is Consuela Senzaki. She's from the Embu Guaçu Johrei Center. That's in the state of São Paulo, Brazil. Consuela has been working at a cosmetics company as a business leader for 9 years, and she really enjoys about her job. However, since joining this company, she faced difficulties with her manager. She considered her a difficult person to deal with, and she didn't agree with many of her manager's attitudes towards her and her co-workers. For this reason, Consuela, too, often treated her boss offensively and unkindly. One day in the second half of 2019, she was interviewed by her minister and reported what was going on. He guided her to pray daily with a donation of gratitude for the spiritual growth of her boss and ancestors, to offer flowers of light to co-workers, and to read daily the teaching, self-control, calmness. At the beginning, she confesses that she was very angry and even cried when she had to feel grateful because she thought that her boss was the one who should change. Although she tried to control herself, she still affronted her boss several times. Nonetheless, little by little, she changed her feelings. When her boss said something Consuela didn't like, instead of retaliating, she just listened and only spoke when necessary. In this way, her boss was noticing Consuela's transformation and changed her attitudes towards her. Her boss became also calmer, more pleasant, and started to act like that with all the team's staff. Her boss started to thank Consuela, to give more support and suggestions to develop her team. As a result, Consuela's results have been improving, and she has received praise and recognition from the company. Today, her professional environment is much more harmonious and pleasant. Consuela is very grateful to God and Meishu-sama because through reading the teachings and our practice of faith, she has changed her attitudes and the way she deals with any situation. Thus, she's gaining more trust and respect from others. Her commitment is to continue following Meishu-sama's footsteps and do her best for the salvation and happiness of others. That was a nice experience from Consuela of the Embu Guasu Johrei Center. Thank you very much for attending this morning service. I wish you a very pleasant day and counting on your participation in our upcoming daily services. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a blessed day.